Good day, grade 10. This is your revision for chapter 1, day 5, worksheet 5, and it's about factorization. Let's start. Number 1 is p squared, and in brackets 2a minus b plus p, in brackets b minus 2a. Now I see that the brackets are switched around. It's 2a minus b and b minus 2a. To switch it around, I have to do a sign change. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the sign of this one and change it to negative b. And then it will switch around. It's a sign change. So it will be 2a minus b then in the next bracket. Now I take that bracket out as a common factor. So it's 2a minus b, and then what's left is p squared minus p. In that second bracket, I can take out a p again. So it's going to be 2a minus b, then I take out a p, and I'm left with p minus 1. Just to make it look a little bit neater, I put the p in front. So it's going to be 2a minus b, and then p minus 1. Number 2. A squared minus b squared plus 2a squared b minus 2ab squared. So I'm going to group them. Because it's 4 terms, I have to group them. I group the first 2 and the second 2. So for the ones marked with yellow, I can see that it's difference of 2 squares. So it's going to be bracket a minus b, a plus b. Then for the pink ones, I take out a common factor of 2ab. Then I'm left with a minus b. Now a minus b is a common factor. So I take it out, a minus b, and then I'm left with a plus b plus 2ab. To get rid of some brackets, I have to simplify. So it's going to be a minus b, and in the second bracket, a plus b plus 2ab. If I grouped different ones together, let's see what happens. If I group the first and the third and the second and the fourth together, then for the blue ones I take out a common factor of a squared. Then I'm left with 1 plus 1 plus 2b. Then for the yellow ones I take out a negative b squared. Then I'm left with 1 plus 2b. Now the 1 plus 2b is a common factor. I take it out, and it becomes 1 plus 2b, and then also a squared minus b squared. That second bracket is now a difference between 2 squares. So I'm going to have a minus b, a plus b. Number 3. 8x to the power 4 minus 27xy to the power 3. The first step of factorization is always to take out a common factor. The common factor in this case is an x. So it's going to be 8x to the power 3 minus 27y to the power 3. The second bracket is now a difference between cubes. When I factorize a difference between cubes, I have a little bracket and a long bracket. Now this negative sign tells me that the signs will be minus, plus, plus. When I have a plus there, it's going to be plus, minus, plus. I always remember the rhyme. So it's going to be minus, plus, plus for a difference between cubes. But when it's the sum of cubes, then I'm going to have plus, minus, plus. Then for the first term, it's going to be the cube root of 8x to the power 3, which is 2x. Then I get the cube root of 27y to the power 3 is 3y. For the first term in the second bracket, I square the first term. So it's going to be 2x squared is 4x squared, and 3y squared is 9y squared. For the middle term, it's 2x times 3y. So that will be 6xy. And that's it. Number 4. X to the power 3 plus 2x squared minus 2x minus 4. It's 4 terms, so I'm going to group them. First, I'm going to highlight the ones that I want to group together. For the blue ones, I'm going to take out a common factor of x squared. Then I'm left with x plus 2. For the yellow ones, I'm going to take out a common factor of negative 2, and I'm left with x plus 2. That bracket is now a common factor. So x plus 2 I'm taking out, then I'm left with x squared minus 2. Number 5. 8a to the power 4 minus 64a. The first step of factorization is always to take out a common factor. So I take out 8a, and then I'm left with a to the power 3 minus 8. That second bracket is a difference between cubes. So I'm going to factorize it further. 8a, how do I factorize the difference of two cubes? I make a small bracket and a long bracket. So it's going to be, because the sign is negative, the signs will be minus, plus, plus. A to the power 3's cube root is a. 8's cube root is 2. Then for the first one in the second brackets, it's a squared. For the last one, it's 2 squared, which is 4. And then for the middle term, it is a multiplied by 2. So it's a times 2 is 2a. That's it. Then number 6, ax minus 3x minus ay plus 3y. That's 4 terms, so I have to group them. I highlight the ones that I want to group. Then I take out a common factor. For the yellow ones, I take out the x, so I'm left with a minus 3. And for the blue ones, I take out negative y, and I'm left with a minus 3. Sign changes because I'm taking out negative. Now the bracket is a common factor. A minus 3, then I'm left with x minus y. And that's it. Number 7. X minus 1 to the power 3 minus 27. This is the difference of two cubes. So I'm going to have a small bracket and a long bracket. The signs, because that sign is negative, it's going to be minus, plus, plus. Now, for that bracket, the bracket's cube root, for the first term I have to get the cube root of x minus 1 to the power 3, which is just x minus 1. Then, the cube root of 27 is 3. For the first term in the second bracket, it's the first term squared. X minus 1 squared. Then for the last term, it's 3 squared, which is 9. For the middle term, I have to multiply these two with one another. So it's 3 times x minus 1. Now I have to simplify. I cannot leave it just like that. So to take away the bracket, in the first bracket, it's going to be x minus 1 minus 3. Then I have to get the answer for x minus 1 squared. That's the FOIL rule. So it's the first one squared, which is x squared. The last one squared, which is plus y 1. And for the middle term, it's the first times the second times 2. So it's going to be 2x. Then I have to multiply this 3 in. So it's 3 times x is 3x, and 3 times negative 1 is negative 3, plus 9. Now I have to find like terms. In the first bracket, that negative 1 minus 3 is negative 4. So it's x minus 4. In the second bracket, I find all those that I like, and I mark them with my highlighters. So x squared stays just like that. Then for the yellow ones, minus 2x plus 3x is plus x. Plus 1 minus 3 plus 9 is plus 7. And that's it for your worksheet 5. Please remember, if you have any questions, you can just ask your teacher. Her email address will be, his or her email address will be on the website. Have a good day.